Have you ever wondered if it's possible to completely reinvent your career even after decades in the same field? In this video, I'll take you through my personal journey of transitioning from a blue-collar to a white-collar role after 24 years in the same industry. Stick around to discover the challenges I faced, the skills I unlocked, and the transformation that proves it's never too late to chase your dreams. My name is Barbara, and I will share my journey from blue-collar to white-collar work after being on my job for 24 years. I worked for Los Angeles County. I worked for the Los Angeles County Jails from 1998 to 2022 as a custody officer. I worked in the jails monitoring the conduct of inmates. Daily, I made sure they received medical treatment, got out to court or to the hospital, and monitored their conduct while they were in the modules. The job required that I break up fights and protect the inmates from assaults. From 2014 until the time I left, I was the liaison for the pregnant population. I ensured that they received appropriate care while in custody and that they did not fall through the cracks. I created programs for them to have someone with them when they delivered while they were in custody. The reason for my transition was many. The biggest reason being I wanted to leave because I was getting older. I did not want to deal with inmates as I started getting in my 50s, especially the way the retirement is set up. You're not expected to retire until you are between 63 and 65 years old. And at that age, I definitely did not want to be dealing with inmates. Additionally, I have an education and I felt like I had more to offer than what I was doing inside of the jails. I just came to the conclusion that, especially as I got older, I did not want to be involved in breaking up fights and the additional wear and tear on your body from the up and down, the constant walking. The job is just hazardous to your health. There was also the issue of overtime. You are mandated to work overtime. I am still in contact with quite a few of my peers that I consider friends. And those that are working in the jails are now mandated to work 9 spots of overtime. And even after working all that overtime, you are still not guaranteed that you won't be drafted. And basically what a draft is you show up for your shift and think you're going home after the 8 hours. And the draft requires them to keep you at work, so you cannot leave. And the department really doesn't care if you have kids to pick up or you have a family. It is often quoted that they have a jail to run, and that is their main obligation, is to run that jail, and they really don't care how it disrupts your life. Some of the challenges I faced in this transitional process. One of the biggest challenges was the fact that I was working in the jails, and a lot of the skills that you acquire or that you use are really specific to the jails. Some of the challenges I faced was the fact that I worked in the jails, and some skill sets are really specific to the jails, i.e. the breaking up the fights kind of thing, right? And what other environment are you going to deal with an inmate? And some of my transferable skills, the jobs I was applying to, the people that were interviewing me had a very difficult time seeing how some of my skills translated. One that comes to mind right now is, say, my communication skills. Well, obviously, if you can communicate in a jail with people who are there against their will and really don't want to be there and have no motivation to be there, but you can get them to cooperate, you have great communication skills. I often refer to those skills as verbal judo. You just have to adapt and adjust and constantly think on your feet. I also think because the jail environment is really authoritative, a lot of people had problems envisioning how I would interact with team members because I was constantly giving out orders in the jails. Also, the biggest challenge I faced is I never had any intentions on leaving the county, but the county would not allow me to use my out-of-class experience. For example, when I created the program for the pregnant women, I was writing policy, dealing with constituents outside of the jail. Because I didn't hold a title that required those skills, the county wouldn't allow me to use those skills. Therefore, there were a very limited number of jobs that I could transfer to within the county. Most of those either required the degree I had, in particular the advanced degree, of course, me passing a test, and not necessarily look at the skills I had inside of the jail. The skill that benefited me the most from the blue collar to the white collar role was that I was able to communicate within all levels of the organization and able to communicate with others that were outside of the organization. As I stated a bit earlier, I learned verbal judo while there, and my negotiation skills helped me tremendously. I often helped mediate conflict amongst the inmates and coworkers. My planning and follow-through skills have helped me. Also, the policy writing and my ability to explain policy, those skills are useful in my current role. After so many rejection letters, I saw I was stuck. And receiving all those rejection letters for the jobs I had applied for, I decided that I needed to up my skills and show that I can function outside of the jails. I had to do some soul searching and really decide what it was I was interested in. After some research, I decided the area I was interested in was Title IX. Title IX is sexual assault and sexual misconduct on school or college campuses. I paid for and attended Title IX trainings, level 1 and level 2. After I received my certifications, I volunteered for 2 semesters at a local community college. I continued to pay and take trainings on investigations, EEO investigations, Title IX, just anything that I thought would help me in that arena. I also took the gold standard training for workplace investigations. The training was costly, but I'm all about learning and investing in me. Now on to my support system. The boss I volunteered under was very supportive and continued to advise me as I looked for roles. She became a mentor to me. There were others that were helpful as well as they learned what I wanted to do. Most of my friends gave encouraging words. Now, on to my peers at the job. Some of them were a different story. Some of them were asking, "Are you sure you want to leave the county?" I was sure. Now, don't get me wrong, the county job was stable, and I never ever thought I would leave. But I felt like the county forced my hand when they would not accept my experience. Some of the coworkers became jealous. One lady, when she heard that I was leaving, put in a complaint against me within 2 days of learning that I was leaving. Her complaint was about something that took place 2.5 years prior to her putting the complaint in. I couldn't let the negativity or the constant questions about leaving my stable job stop me. I, at that point, pretty much knew what I wanted to do and was determined to get away from the jail so that I could do something else. Through this career change, I have experienced significant personal growth and development, allowing me to discover and cultivate skills I did not realize I had, but also boosted my confidence in my ability to adapt and excel in new environments. My advice for those looking to transition is to learn everything you can about the field you wish to go into. Never stop learning. Also highlight your skills that are transferable to the area you're looking to transition into. Network as much as possible in the area that you've chosen to go into. Often your mentors will be the ones that will know about various opportunities and can often point you in the right direction. My current status is that I initially left my 24-year blue-collar career for a job in Title IX in higher education. I am still in higher education, but I am now in employee labor relations with a prominent university. I now investigate workplace issues. I consult and advise on how to handle workplace conflicts. I also mediate conflict resolution between employees. I advise and direct people to appropriate resources. Transitioning from a blue-collar role to a white-collar role at the age of 49 was no easy feat. My journey was long and challenging. Through persistence, dedication, and a commitment to upskilling, I was able to make this significant career change. To all of you watching, I want you to know that no matter your age or your current job, it is never too late to pursue your dreams and redefine your career path. Embrace the learning process. Seek out opportunities for growth and believe in your ability to achieve great things. Remember, the road may be tough and there will be obstacles along the way, but with persistence and a positive mindset, you can overcome them. Surround yourself with supportive people, stay focused on your goals, and keep pushing forward. Your dreams are within reach. Take that first step and trust your journey. You have the power to create the future you desire. Let's embark on this journey together and inspire each other to achieve our fullest potential.